Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. So, as promised, I have ranked all 75 Van Halen songs that were in the David Lee Roth era. Um, I just posted a reaction video of Ultimate Classic Rock ranking the 75 David Lee Roth era songs and decided to do this list on my own. I actually decided to do this list on my own before I saw that list come out. After they did the Sammy Hagar ones and I reacted to that, I decided why not do the Roth era. So I had already started this list by the time that I saw Ultimate Classic Rock post their article. So I already had this just about ready to go. So let's get into my list ranking these songs from my least favorite to my favorite. So this is just my opinion. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine. I personally don't think there is a bad song in the David Lee Roth era. Even these ones that I have at the bottom, I still think are good songs. But I would say that these bottom 5 or 6 to me just don't quite. I like them, but I don't love them. So I'm gonna knock like these bottom couple out of the way real quick here. And most of these, all but one of these, are different kind of truth songs. So coming in at the bottom, it's not a bad song, but something has to come at the bottom for me. It's going to be Honey Baby Sweetie Doll at 75. Number 74, I'm going to go with Me Wise Magic. 73, Tattoo. 72, The Trouble with Never. 71, Out of Space. 70, Stay Frosty. And I know Stay Frosty is kind of a fan favorite from that last one. And it really seems like Ralph from Almost Human really loves that song. I think it's a good song. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really captivate me the way that a lot of the classic Roth, 70s, 80s stuff did. Like I said, I think they're all good songs. Even Honey Baby Sweet Doll is not a bad song, but, something has to come in towards the bottom, and to me, those are the ones that are just not quite, not quite as good as the rest of them. All right, next up at number 69, I have 1984. 68, I have Tora Tora. Just like Ultimate Classic Rock, I kind of throw those ones toward the bottom. Even though I do love all of the instrumental tracks from this era of Van Halen, to me, those ones, 1984 is just sort of inconsequential, and then Tora Tora really feels the most like a lead-in track more than any instrumental. I don't think it really stands on its own as well as many of the other ones, but like I said, it's not a bad song. It does its job leading into Loss of Control. Number 67, I have Chinatown. Number 66, I have Beats Working. Number 65, I have Bullet Head, so I'm getting some more different kind of truth songs out of the way. 64, I'm going to go with Jamie's Crying. 63, Feel Your Love Tonight. 62, Little Guitar's Intro. And 61, Happy Trails. So Jamie's Crying and Feel Your Love Tonight, to me, have always been the two weakest tracks on VH1. They're still good songs. But to me, they've always been the two tracks in the album that don't quite stand up to the rest of the album. Little Guitar's Intro, again, I think it's cool, but I think they have better instrumentals in that era. And Happy Trails, I mean, it kind of has to go toward the bottom somewhere because it's not really like a full length Van Halen song, but it is kind of a fun little ditty that they do to wrap up Diver Down, and it always brings a smile to my face, so you really can't complain. So now getting into the top 60. 60, I have Girl Gone Bad, which I figure a lot of people would probably put that song higher than me, but like I said, this is my list, and it just has to go somewhere. 59, Dance in the Streets. Number 58, So This Is Love. Number 57, Dirty Movies. 56, Beautiful Girls. 55, Women in Love. I kind of, again, think Beautiful Girls and Women in Love will probably be higher on most people's lists. I think Beautiful Girls is usually a more popular song that I'm giving it credit for. I like the song, but again, kind of like Jamie's Crying and Feel Your Love Tonight, it's just always been one of those tracks that I just like other ones more than it. It's a good song, but I just like the other songs better. Number 54, I'm going to go with You and Your Blues. 53, Push Comes to Shove. 52, Big Bad Bill, Sweet William Now. I love that cover. Some people do, some people don't. I think it's a lot of fun. But I can't put it ahead of too many of the classic Van Halen tracks. And then 51, I'm going to go with Oh Pretty Woman. So, um, I don't, there's not a whole lot to say because I like all these songs. We're already into songs that I love. So, that's what really makes the Roth era so tough because it's just, they're all so awesome. Number 50, this is a song I always kind of thought was a little underrated, but I couldn't put it higher than this, and that's Can't Get the Stuff No More. And I kind of forgot how much I like that track too, because having it being stuck on the best of, I don't generally play greatest hits or best of albums, especially from bands like Van Halen very often. I usually play studio albums, so that's a song that I kind of forgot how much I liked until I listened to it again for this list, and that's a good song. I think it's kind of underrated. 49, I'm gonna go with Blood and Fire. One of my more favorite songs from Different Kind of Truth. Musically, these two songs, Can't Get the Stuff No More and Blood and Fire, to me musically feel more like Van Hagar songs than they do Roth songs. If there were any song in the Roth era that I would actually like to hear what Sammy would do with it, it would be these two songs because I think they both musically feel like they could have come from Balance to me. So, that's just me. Number 48, I'm gonna go with I'll Wait. 47, You're No Good, awesome cover. 46, Sunday Afternoon in the Park. And 45, One Foot Out the Door, awesome stuff. I love how weird and creepy Sunday Afternoon in the Park is. And then One Foot Out the Door, it's too short. it's too short, especially that they cut that solo or they fade out on that awesome guitar solo that he does, which is a cool way to end the album. But man, they could have kept going with One Foot Out the Door. I mean, they could have doubled the length of that song because it was really kicking. But yeah, good stuff. Number 44, Lost Control. I've grown to love Lost Control. Wasn't crazy about it when I first heard the song, but um, I think it's awesome now. 43, Bottoms Up. 42, Atomic Punk. Good song. I expect most people will have that one higher, but for me, that's just where it has to come in. 41, Big River. I always thought Big River was super, super catchy. One of my favorites off of their most recent album. Number 40, On Fire. Killer way to close the first album. 39, Intruder. I love Intruder. Um, I don't know if anybody else is this way, but I generally, when I think of an album, there's usually like one song that will come to my mind when I think of that album that will like come to the forefront, and it's not always the biggest hit, and it's not always my favorite song. And for whatever reason, when I think of Diver Down, Intruder is a song that comes to my mind first. I always thought it was a really, really cool instrumental. I kind of wished it was a little bit longer, but I also think it leads into Pretty Woman just flawlessly. Number 38, I'm going to go with You Really Got Me. 37, Drop Dead Legs. 36, Top Jimmy. Always thought was kind of an underrated 1984 track. 35, probably going to be low for some people, but Ain't Talking About Love. Again, I love Ain't Talking About Love. Maybe most people like it a little more than me, because I expect that would be in most people's top 10, but for me, that's just where it falls. There's just 34 songs I like a little bit better, but still, Ain't Talking About Love is great. Number 34, like I said, I always thought Little Dreamer was kind of an underrated track. 33, Could This Be Magic? I love Could This Be Magic. Just kind of like the soft acoustic-y type song on Women and Children First. Just really sets a great mood. I love that song. I think it's awesome. Number 32, Everybody Wants Some. Probably another one that I think a lot of people maybe put a little higher than me, but still, great song. There's no wrong answer, really, with all these tracks. I wouldn't even argue if somebody's favorite song was Honey, Sweetie, Baby Doll, and Tattoo. Just because I still think those are good songs. Van Halen with David Lee Roth was just perfect. So, 31, I'm going to go with Cathedral. Love Cathedral. 30, I'm going to go Spanish Fly, because I also love Spanish Fly. Two of my favorite instrumentals from Van Halen. 29, She's the Woman. Killer riff. Wolfgang really makes his presence known on the bass with the beginning of that song. Yes, I do miss Michael Anthony on that album, but I think in hindsight now that Eddie's no longer with us, I'm glad that Wolfie had a chance to make an album with his dad and his uncle and tour with him a little bit. So I'm kind of torn. Of course, we all wish Michael Anthony would have been there as well, but I'm glad Wolfgang had that opportunity, and he's a fantastic musician. I mean, he did a great job on the album, so really can't complain. And I think She's the Woman is like just where his bass work really comes to the forefront on that album. Um, 28, House of Pain. 27, Eruption. 26, Ice Cream Man. 25, Out of Love Again. 24, Dance the Night Away. 23, Somebody Get Me a Doctor. 22, Fools. 21, Romeo Delight. Just fun. Oh. We're already getting to songs that are just like so awesome that if people had these in their top five, I wouldn't even argue with them because they're just great songs. But there's just so many of them. So we're gonna break in now to my top 20. Um, Number 20, In a Simple Rhyme, kind of the song that coulda, woulda, shoulda been a hit off of Women and Children First, and an awesome way to close that album. Number 19, Secrets. I think one of the unsung heroes from Diver Down. I would say that the 4 original tracks on Diver Down are as strong as any in Van Halen's catalog. I think most people would definitely point to Hang 'Em High and Little Guitars and even the Full Bug, but I think Secrets sometimes gets a little overlooked. Maybe because it's more melodic, but I still think it's a great song. Number 18, I'm the One. Um, Ultimate Classic Rock had that in the top 10, and I was like super excited because I love I'm the One, but here I have it at 18. But it's a great song. It was one of those tracks that really left an impression on me when I first got VH1 all those years ago, and I love the song. It's so freaking heavy, and then you got that breakdown in the middle of the song, the ba ba da shooby doo wah. I love that part. It's just classic Van Halen. Number 17, Hot for Teacher, great song. Great work from every member of the band. I mean, Eddie just shredding on that song. Alex's drum intro that I think sounds like a NHRA comp car rolling to the starting line. Awesome stuff. 16, some people are sick of it. I'm not. I love it. Jump. I think Jump is a great song. Number 15, Take Your Whiskey Home. Killer riffs in that song. And just so David Lee Roth. Think that you're heading for a whole lot of trouble. Great stuff. 14, DOA. Just a downright dirty, nasty hard rock song. Not a dirty-faced kid in a garbage can. I love it. Oh, it just gets so tough. I mean, I was hitting songs I loved like in the 50s. So I mean, here we're really getting to the cream of the crop here. All right, so I said on the other video when I was doing Ultimate Classic Rocks list that they had a song like toward the bottom that was actually in my top 20. Here it is. It's my favorite song off of Different Kind of Truth. It's As Is. I think As Is phenomenal. Just Eddie shredding in that song. The riff is so killer. The riff just blows my mind. I mean, I don't know. The riff is incredible. And then it's just so classic David Lee Roth in the lyrics. As Is could have fit on any of those classic Van Halen albums, and I wouldn't have wanted Bat in an Eyelash. I think it's a fantastic track. Number 12, Hear About It Later off of Fair Warning, great song. And number 11, I hated not putting this in the top 10, but it didn't quite make it. The Full Bug, another one of those great original tracks off of Diver Down. So now we're getting into the top 10. Number 10, my favorite Van Halen cover song of all time is the song that opens up Diver Down, Where Have All the Good Times Gone. Awesome cover. The second time they covered the Kinks, both covers are awesome. Both covers I like better than the Kinks version, but especially Where Have All the Good Times Gone, I think Van Halen really, really made it their own. And I love the version that kicks off Diver Down. Number 9, In the Cradle Will Rock. I was surprised but not surprised to learn that Eddie is actually playing keyboard on that song because it doesn't really sound like it, but it doesn't quite sound like Eddie's normal guitar playing either. But either way, it is just an awesome rock song. And I mean, there's probably not a Van Halen fan alive that doesn't speak along with Dave when it comes to the part. Have you seen Junior's grades? Awesome stuff, man. Number 8, Little Guitars off of Diver Down. Great song, underrated Van Halen track. I can go to YouTube and look up the isolated version of this, the isolated guitar track to Little Guitars, and just listen to that, and it is so awesome. Just Eddie's work in that song is phenomenal. I mean, and when you add the whole band in, it just makes a song even better. But like just listening to Eddie's isolated guitar track is just killer. Great stuff. Number 7, I've Running with the Devil. It's the first Van Halen song I ever heard, and still love it. May not be like the most mind-boggling riff that Eddie's ever come up with, but it's still one of my favorite guitar riffs. And I don't know, it's a classic rock song. Love it. Number 6 is Light Up the Sky off Van Halen 2. Just really, really rips. Number 5, my favorite from Diver Down, which would be Hang 'em High. Just another absolute banging track. Killer guitar work from Eddie. Love the riffs, love the solo. I always love Dave's contribution as well. Number 4, song a lot of people are burnt out on and sick of. I'm not. If I hear the song on the radio, I still turn it up and sing along. That's Panama. I still love Panama. Panama just kicks so much. Great song. And the top 3, if you're following along, Fair Warning sweeps my top 3. Number 3, Unchained, which is what Ultimate Classic Rock had at number 1. Cannot argue with that because Unchained is a phenomenal track. Number 2, I think one of the most underrated Van Halen songs in the entire catalog. The absolutely heavy banging track, Center Swing. Love Eddie's riffs in that song. I love David Lee Roth's delivery vocally. He just sings that song with such personality and attitude. I mean, like he does with everything, but just in Center Swing, I think if I was trying to pick out a song or listen to a song that really kind of explains why I prefer David Lee Roth to Sammy Hagar, I would probably play you Center Swing, because even though Sammy probably technically has the better voice, he has the bigger range, but David Lee Roth just has the swagger, and it's on full display in Center Swing. But my favorite Van Halen song from the Roth era, and my favorite Van Halen song of all time, is the album opener to Fair Warning. That is Mean Street. I was blown away the first time I ever heard Mean Street, first time I ever got Fair Warning. I mean, just from that intro that Eddie plays fading in is just so... And then the riff that it goes into, and a lot like a Little Guitars, I can look up Mean Street, the isolated guitar track, and just listen to that, and it is so awesome, because I love the riff in that song. And again, if I wouldn't play you Center Swing to explain why I'm a David Lee Roth fan, I would probably play you Mean Street, because again, he just sings with such attitude and swagger, and it's just, the band is on 100%. I don't know, it's just everything. I don't know. I love classic Van Halen, and Mean Street is just like the cream of the crop, the best of the best. So it is my favorite song from Van Halen. So let me know in the comments. I don't care what you do. Just, give me your top 5, top 10, rank all 75 for all I care. I would love to see your lists. That's really that's like my favorite part is, seeing other people's lists and what other people think. So that's why I do YouTube, is to find other Van Halen fans and other rock music fans. So if you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future, and I will catch you next time.